velikim veseljem pozdravljam Uroša Rojka na naši 7. bienali Koper. Uroš Rojko je eden od mednarodno najbolj priznanih slovenskih skladateljev in tako kot je bila mednarodna njegova študijska izkušnja, je ostalo mednarodno tudi njegovo nadaljnje profesionalno življenje. Saj živi in deluje med Berlinom, Dunajem in Ljubljano. Danes mislim, da smo na vezi z Dunajem, če se ne motim, ne? Njegova dela so izvedena na pomembnih prizoriščih sodobne glasbe, tako v Evropi kot tudi v Ameriki, Kanadi, Avstraliji in na Japonskem. Je redni profesor za kompozicijo in glasbeno teorijo na Akademiji za glasbo v Ljubljani. Rad nastopa tudi kot izvajalec, predvsem v duu z Luko Juhartom, in smo lahko prav pred kratkim poslušali koncert v sklopu Slovindove pomladi. Tudi ta koncert je šel namreč prek spleta.
Ja.
V čast in veselje seveda nam je, da si Uroš tu z nami. Namreč bil si gost že od samega začetka bienala, to je od leta 2008. Lahko pa rečem, da si bil med nami že prej, ko sva s prijateljem, kolegom Ambrožem Čopjem organizirala razne srečanja za naše učence in dijake na glasbeni šoli Koper oziroma na umetniški gimnaziji Koper. Tako da res prisrčna hvala, da si tudi danes z nami.
Ja, hvala za povabilo, seveda, veseljem.
Good, so I can start with this game. Thanks for being here, Uroš. And well, it's not easy to concentrate in 4 minutes and 33 seconds your life. So that's why we are probably talking just about about the piece we will perform. Okay. Yeah, of course. Just to let the people know, you are after Vinko Globokar, the most important living composer from Slovenia. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it's not easy in 4 minutes 33. It's a sort of game, but we use it as an introduction to the concert. So if you want, we can start with this 4 minutes 33 seconds.
Okay, let's go.
Good. So we are going to perform your Ritualities, which is a piece for solo tape from 1990. Could you tell us a little bit more about the title that you chose for this piece?
Yeah, well, I did it in 1995 in experimental studio Heinrich Strobel Stiftung in Freiburg. Well, at that time I used to live in Freiburg. And that was another time, of course. There were not, let's say, digital era was on the beginning, or not very common at that time, or yeah, more or less at the beginning, not like now. And I did there with 2 materials. I decided to use marimbola. This is a very funny instrument. It's like a big, how to say, you know, this with no, I don't.
Yeah, it's like a sort of
yeah.
A little,
what's the name? I forgot the name.
I don't remember. Yeah. Kalimba.
So
no.
Kalimba, exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Kalimba. But it is a big monster Kalimba like that. And then I use piano, the metal frame of piano inside with striking with glass on it. That was all material. I did a recording of that, and then I used modifications via Publison Internal at that time. That was equipment very much used at that time. And then all material I put in a workstation. And then the Ritualities started, because as I learned how to do it with addition to work with editing, I mean, not addition, editing, and use this some function as speed change and pitch shifting, more or less that was all, and editing. And that as I learned how to do it, then I started to work, and that I had a very few time, 2 days or something, and then I did it at day and the night, and that was a ritual, and that's why that the title
that's
is
because of the
Rituality.
title.
Yeah, exactly, because I was really in a ritual of doing something which was very unusual for myself, or to do it on this way all the night, all the
very
day.
Interesting, will
No?
say.
And I led, of course, this. I improvised, of course. I improvised the material with this striking in special or in constant rhythm, rhythmic, and I repeat it like patterns and so on. And then all these things I modified in with a Publison, and so on. And that working was really like a ritual, because I was listening. So it's different work as a composing, of course, because you do something and you listen it and you judge immediately in the real time. Oh yeah, I like it. Oh no, and so on. And you can construct all the whole piece on using experience in the real time. And this was really like a ritual. And the piece is like a ritual. I think that also sounds like somehow as a ritual.
Yeah, it's funny what you say. I mean, not funny, but very interesting, because it really sounds like a wooden sound. And so it reminds really to the traditions from Africa. Or
yeah, exactly, because I didn't use any synthetic sound, and I didn't transform actually the sound. I just put speech, used speech changing, so exaggerating and small, a little slower, a little faster, and so on. I changed all these things, and there are many tracks then, and so on. And I put all this together in a form as it is. So the sound is actually analog or acoustic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very good. Well, our 4 minutes 33 seconds were perfect, I think, as an introduction. We keep talking because it's very interesting having you here. So we use this time to talk about your music. And as you said already, in your musical production, the use of improvisation as a starting point for the composition itself is quite important, because I've seen, well, it's one can perceive it by listening also from your pieces recordings, that there are some aspects which can be related to the improvisation, but then after that you transform it into a very peculiar form, and it's never predictable from my point of view what's going to happen in your pieces. And that's, is it, do you feel it's a good description of your use of the form?
Yes, sure, because for me this is also a very important and interesting point of view to be not predictable. That means, I mean, also Beethoven is not predictable. If you listen carefully, Beethoven, the Waldstein Sonata, second movement, at the beginning, I mean, you think you are somewhere, but you are not there. You are somewhere else, and then you think you are here, and of course you are somewhere else, and so on. And this is completely unpredictable, and this makes tension, and this makes attention. So so the listener will be surprised, or will be. It is different as somebody would expect. And this makes tension, and this makes music lively, I think. This is a crucial element of any music. So otherwise it would be boring. And of course,
I agree.
Yeah, and of course, in the compositional process, you have some processes to develop something, and of course, time. And time is again crucial element of developing. And then when is that point, for example, when comes the point to change something and to make this, we can also say medial jump, jumping to something different. in what moment you should do it. This is very important. If you do it in the wrong place or the wrong time moment, it's not so good. And if you do it really, and this is the game, this is again probably the game in the compositional work, how to judge, how to make decisions where and what is happening in certain moment. And you said already improvisation. Of course, improvisation can be very useful initial process to deal with some, especially when I work with the instruments I can play or I can try on it. I can make like guitar, clarinet, and so on. You can make alone some experiments and so on. Or you work with musicians, of course, and let them try this, try that, and invite them to teach us as a composers, let's say, what is possible, what is special, interesting for some players, and so on. And the best way is to make recordings of that, and then to think about, and this is actually also some improvising material. And then you can decide how to use it and how to define and how to make systems or some decisions precise the procedere.
Yeah, to keep going.
Yeah, could keep going, and so on.
Yeah, do you think that the fact that you are also a very active performer as a clarinetist, and not only, is also very important in these decisions that you take, because you have the feeling of being what it means to be on stage and to play for a public and to describe something musically, and then also this conception of time is very much related to the fact that you are also performing your music. Or did you change some ideas that you had on the table but then didn't work on stage? Does it happen maybe?
Yes, sure. Well, to be practicing musicians, this is very important for front prednost, no?
Un vantaggio.
And yeah, that means each composer who can play, who can have this experience, can use it. But this is the same issue if you're a mathematics, if you're good in mathematics, then you will use this, your knowledge in your processes. So everything what you can be very useful. Of course, to be a musician, this is very concrete useful, because music will be played normally. And to have this experience means very much, of course. And because of that, you do some decisions which you wouldn't do if you wouldn't have these experiences. But anyway, still then it happens that after the first rehearsal or second rehearsal, I change something, because I didn't consider like it's not that what I wanted to have. Of course, this is also a very dangerous situation if you judge or change too early, because the first rehearsal is symptomatically horrible. So if you hear orchestra piece, the first rehearsal, it's horrible, and it's not the realistic situation. And it's very difficult. You need really experience to understand this. This is not to take it serious. You have to wait. But then we have the problem, because the first rehearsal can be the only one.
that's a bad story.
So very bad situations nowadays, or nearly the only one. Then it's general rehearsal, but you know, it's too less. No? So many things will not happen as it should.
Yeah, and just another thing I was interested in, since you play the clarinet, I have seen also that you wrote a lot with for wind instruments in general, and also accordion. Is it because you are a clarinet player that you feel that these instruments have something more to give to the music, or is just a practical thing that, for example, you have friends playing flute and accordion.
Yeah, it happens by chance, actually. Well, because Stefan Husong came to me, or before him, there was Hugo Nott, the pioneer of concert accordion, who heard my orchestra piece, Der Atem der verletzten Zeit, in donation and in '88, and come to me, and we had a nice discussion, and he asked me to write pieces for accordion, and the first piece I wrote was for him, actually, or was the first one was actually Stefan Husong, yeah, and the first piece is whose song for Stefan Husong, yeah. And that was the first etude, or very hard. He said at that time that was the most difficult piece for accordion, but nowadays it's certainly not. There are more accordionists, they play this, and really also young accordionists, they play it really fantastic. So
that instrument is also very much popular in your country, I think, in Slovenia, no?
But this is completely another story.
Puzzle mechanism,
this is Oberkreiner. This is another type of accordion. Because concert accordion is in last year also, in last time, it's becoming more important due to Luka Juchat, Marko Hatlak. It's more in world music, in ethno music, but Luka Juchat is that person who make accordion, concert accordion and contemporary accordion important in the new music scene, and due to him, also young accordionists are starting to study and to discover new music for accordion. So original music for accordion, their original music.
Thought for it, conceived for it. You had a concert also a few days ago, I've seen.
That was funny.
Good.
Because that was planned much bigger production with more people. Luka was invited to make his concert, and due to Corona, of course, couldn't happen anything. And because we did 2 concerts 1 month ago, we were fit to jump in to make this concert, and it was a great fun, because with Luka, this is really, we know each other so good, and we understand each other. We don't need any point or start now. We never tune. I never tune clarinet when we play concert, or where we practice. We never tune. Never make tuning. And he asked me last time, why don't we do it? I said, I don't know, but it's not necessary. I mean, there is no need.
That's why you are writing with microtones.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. But they must be also very pure.
Exactly. That makes it even harder. Anyway, Uroš, thanks very much. I will pass to Tatiana in your beautiful language. She can ask you for something very interesting for the Slovenian public. Anyway, thanks. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Jaz se bi te res še enkrat iskreno zahvalila, da si bil z nami. In ne vem, mogoče bi te vprašala, če bi tako dal eno sporočilo za Slovenijo, kako naj doživlja sodobno glasbo, oziroma kako naj nas podpre, bi rekla tako.
Ja, to je pa dobra misel. Torej, priporočam, pozivam, želim slovenskemu narodu, da naj ne obupa v situaciji, v kakršni se nahaja cel svet, vsi smo zdaj tu, in nikakor, ali kako bi rekel, apeliram na to, da čim več ljudi odkrije humanistična področja, ki varujejo človeka pred tem, da bi postal okrutna žival, ker ta nevarnost obstaja dan danes in samo humanistične torej, ja, in duhovnosti, seveda spiritualna področja, umetnost, humanistične vsebine lahko obvarujejo človeka pred tem, da bi postal kruta žival. Mislim, kruta žival sama ni kruta, žival živi tako, kot je nekako nezapovedano, ampak naravno za njo. Človek je pa ukruten, ker razmišlja in ker lahko naredi veliko škode, ki jo tudi dela, seveda. In glasba, sodobna glasba je včasih lahko velik premislek ali pa možnost, da človek razmišlja o stvarih, kaj je danes pomembno pravzaprav za preživetje celega planeta. Seveda direktno to ni možno, direktno glasba, umetnost nima te moči ali pa tega dometa, ampak posredno pa nekdo ve se, da že otroci, ki se ukvarjajo z glasbo in ki so neobremenjeni, se drugače razvijajo kot tisti, ki nimajo te možnosti. To je dovolj, mislim, to je dokaz, kakšen pomen ima recimo glasba. In sodobna glasba je pač del glasbe, ki je aktualen in ki pripoveduje stvari, ki so danes res.
Najlepša hvala za to misel. Želimo ti res vse dobro in mi si želimo, da bi se čim prej videli v živo in lahko se tudi podružili, tako kot smo se vedno na našem bienalu.
Thank you.
In lep pozdrav.
Ciao.